Hello, everybody. I am doing what I said I would, which was I'm going to be reading a chapter from my books, Galaxy's Well and I Love Pink. Galaxy's Well is a 7-chapter book, so I'm going to start with Galaxy's Well, and I'll be reading a chapter starting, let's see, today, obviously, but I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to read a chapter every Sunday until I'm done with this particular book, and then I'll move on to the other ones. I'm waiting for Leo the Technicolor Panther to arrive via post because my lovely Post and L driver lost my first bundle of books to the disappointment of my students, and I felt really, really sad that I wasn't able to give them their books until, hi Susan, hi, thanks for joining me. So, and of course you'll be able to see this recording again, and I will be posting it to other social media on Facebook, and yeah. So this is the first chapter of Galaxy's Well. And I'm going to read the inside quote by one of my favorite writers and poetess of all time, Maya Angelou. Courage is the most important of all virtues because without courage, you cannot practice any of the other virtues consistently. And I think right now is a really important time to be brave. Hi, whoever. Thanks for watching. So I think the best format for me to do is read it, and then I will show you the beautiful illustrations by my illustrator, Mari Nakomo. Princess Safia was done. She was tired of being a princess. Every day she had this class or that class on how to be a proper princess. She had tea pouring class at 8 a.m. Then there was curtsy class at 9 a.m. Ballet at 10 a.m., reading class at 11 a.m., and then lunch at noon, where she learned how to chew like a mouse and never make a sound. The queen had shunned her on several occasions by saying she chewed like a billy goat. It made Safia so mad that she continued just to make her stepmother upset. After lunch, she was done and free to play. She had one older sister, Cecilia, Sissy for short, and she was beautiful. Safia dreamt of looking like Sissy, with big hazel green eyes, caramel skin, and thick raven black hair full of curls. Unfortunately, she rarely saw Sissy in lessons anymore, since Sissy was the perfect princess and almost floated across the room compared to Safia's wobbly gait. Sissy always wore her hair in a beautiful bun or twist and gorgeous gowns with luxurious adornments. Safia used to follow Sissy around like a lost puppy dog until she met Darren Armitage. He was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. Safia thought he was very dreamy, and Sissy was in love with him. All Sissy did was talk about how handsome he was and how brave he was. Sissy, it started to annoy Safia. At first, Safia listened to have something in common with her sister, but after a while, Safia just wanted to do something else besides talk about her sister's betrothed. They were to marry next spring, and all chats included discussions of wedding plans, dresses, and arrangements. Sophia decided she never wanted to get married. Not that she thought any boy would want to marry her. She truly missed Sissy. Then she had one older brother, Stephen. He was so brave and handsome. Stephen was the boy version of Sissy since they were twins. He was a knight in the royal guard and all the girls were in love with him. The really neat part about that Sophia loved about him was that Stephen didn't seem to notice. He taught her the coolest tricks. Her favorite was rolling a gold coin between her fingers. She practiced for months until she got it. When she perfected it, she ran to Stephen and showed him. He was so proud of her. She was proud of herself. Great work, Sophia. You must have been practicing for hours, he asked. She nodded in agreement. For this, little sister, I give you my lucky coin. Keep it with you and think of me whenever you are afraid, he said as he rolled it off his fingers and flicked it into the air. Sophia caught it with both hands and smiled her biggest grin she could manage. She loved Stephen. He was a really nice guy and the best brother a sister could have. Finally, there was her younger half-brother, Sebastian. He was just a pain in Sophia's side. As soon as they were done with classes, he would be right next to her. She pretended she couldn't stand him, but really, he was her best friend. She loved making him giggle with tickles and playing hide and seek. Sebastian was more his mother than her father. He was very fair-skinned with blue eyes and reddish blonde hair. Her father had to marry Zerelda not too long after her own mother died of the fever while nursing sick children in a nearby village. Sophia was, I forgot to show the picture. Sophia was always upset with her father for remarrying so soon after her mother's passing. 1 year was not long enough to mourn such a significant loss. She thought of her mother every time she looked at Sissy because she looked so much like their mother. However, her father, Cedric, swore that it was Sophia who favored her mother, Lilia, the most. Sophia thought this was the reason Zerelda was so cross with her. Her father was still deeply in love with Lilia and visited her grave frequently when he was home. Cedric said he had to remarry to have someone to help care for them while he was away doing what kings do. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Sophia missed her father, but knew he was away so much because of Zerelda's pestering. She was sad for her stepmother because she knew their marriage was out of convenience and not love. So that's chapter 1 of the book called A Castle by the Sea. So in all of my books, I just want to point out something. There is, at the end, there are parent and teacher's notes. And I basically help the parents help their children understand the many layers of the story. For example, in the back of this about Sophia, who is the main character that we introduce first, Sophia symbolizes the transformation and the evolution of the inner self. Her doubts are the same ones we all experience, especially for those children who have experienced emotional trauma. The feeling of not being pretty or intelligent enough is perpetuated by a society that teaches us to compare ourselves to others instead of loving the person we are. Safiya's catalyst to change was merely being called beautiful from a kind being. Kindness is key. She also rebels against stereotypical norms, the princess who thinks being a princess is unfulfilling. She fights against social norms. She is the strength of her own conviction. So a question I would ask is, do you ever feel like Safiya? So that's just a sample. I will be reading the rest of the book, chapter by chapter. This is chapter 7, seven-chapter book. It is available at thisreallifebooks.com. It is also available on Amazon, but we prefer thisreallifebooks.com only because Amazon takes so long to compensate. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that chapter, and I will see you soon next Sunday for the other chapter at this time at 18:30 European time, and that's I think that's Pacific. So anyways, have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed it.